It's 5 o'clock on Sunday. I had to think about that for a moment. I was like, what day is this? I was going to start to do the whole Friday Night Live thing. It is Sunday at 5 on Memorial Day weekend. How are you guys doing? Welcome to my kitchen on a Sunday night as we craft a, what's it? I thought of you today wreath. And the sign that we're using is this one here that I had talked to you guys about on Friday. It's a perfect tie-in to Memorial Day. Not that Memorial Day in regards to our service men and women who have passed away is the same as loved ones, but it could be kind of, what do you call them, where they kind of overlap each other, where you could have a loved one who was a service member that has passed away on Memorial Day weekend. So this is my twist on not just a red, white, and blue, but mixing it up a little bit and incorporating the sign. I had so many requests for this for Mother's Day, for us to find a sign that would remember moms that are no longer with us. This could also be perfect for family members who are no longer with us for whatever reason, and with Father's Day coming up, it could also symbolize fathers or grandfathers or grandparents as well, spouses, whatever. So I thought I would do a tribute today for that reason, and we're going to go ahead and get started in a little bit. Do we have anyone joining us?
Yeah, we got Carla.
Hi,
Kathy,
Carla. Hi, Kathy.
Antoinette.
Hi, Antoinette.
Brenda.
Hi, Brenda.
Jean.
Hi, Jean.
Sandra.
Hi,
Melody.
Sandra.
Melody, Monica, Audrey, Carol, Stephanie, Bobby, and Angela, and Gina.
Okay, great.
And Christina.
So more of us are going to slowly start to come on by. We're filming tonight from my kitchen with our Mevo camera, which is in 720 HD. So that's probably where you're going to start to get a little bit more bright and vivid colors and pictures with the camera. Plus it also allows us to do everything by remote. So that's actually kind of cool. The colors that we're using today obviously are based on the same colors that are on my pipe cleaners on my 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame. We're using a lime green, we're using a royal blue, and we're using a white. It kind of posed a little bit of a challenge for us because the given on the sign was the lime green and then of course the royal or navy blue. But then the tie-in is, what else do you do? So we went with a cream color, we looked at cream, we looked at gold. I'm trying to think of, we went with different shades of blue, different shades of green, and then we pulled out the ribbon and started looking at our ribbon choices and realized that a lot of the ribbon choices had a cream or a white in it. So we decided to not add any iridescent, not add any gold or silver or foil threads to it, and just go with the standard plain white. And I think that the effect when we're finished will be pretty much exactly what we had hoped for, but like all good things, you never really know until you put it out there and give it a whirl. So what's up, babe?
Just a lot of people still joining in and saying hi and happy Memorial Day weekend.
Are you guys barbecuing, or have you guys barbecued over the weekend? I know we haven't.
Yep.
We shampooed our hallways. That's what we have done. We wait for our kids to just be gone all day, and then we spot clean certain areas where we know they're going to traffic quite a bit,
Yep.
and just do those areas to where we know they'll be gone most of the day. So,
Nancy said, good evening, Kat. Just
Hi,
got
Nancy.
home from Alaska.
what a trip for you.
Just home today and need to see you create a masterpiece before I say goodnight all.
Oh, very cool.
Glad you're home safe and sound.
Yeah, definitely.
Everybody's saying tomorrow's barbecue day. Well,
Tomorrow's barbecue day?
Kathy's saying that.
Yeah. I don't know. Our neighbors across the street,
They're partying today.
yeah, they're partying it up quite heavily today. So they've been at it from early this morning, and I have a feeling it's going to go really late into the night. Hopefully not too late into the night, because we've turned into the old fogey people who don't like loud music past midnight, and that's when we have to warrant a couple phone calls.
On our hands.
Okay, so what we're going to be doing is we're taking our 21-inch, this is a lime green metallic Deco mesh, and I got this from Walmart. I was telling Steve before we started, I like the Walmart quality Deco mesh because it's soft. Even though it's inexpensive, it still retains the quality that's a little higher than your basic Deco mesh, and a little lower than like the premium.
Yeah.
But it's still soft. Like it's not that hard abrasive texture that a basic like the white is. It's very thick, but this makes it stay soft. So what's that, babe?
Oh.
I'm gonna go ahead and start.
Yep.
Oh, actually I have to finish my wreath frame first. So 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame. You guys know it's generally my standard. I had thought about moving it up to a work frame wreath, but I just figured I'll keep it this way for now. So pipe cleaner placement isn't a perfect hardcore choice, which means that if you want to add more or use less, that's definitely within your rights to do so. For us, this pattern layout on a 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame with the 6 sections with 4 rails in it seems to be pretty good for doing
Almost
curls,
yeah,
curls, ruffles, and a 10-inch poof all the way around. We can also incorporate it in a bunch of other things, but the same layout seems to work for all 3. So with the 5 already done, I always save 1 to do live. So I have my pipe cleaners just alternating colors. There's no rhyme or reason to that. I just think it looks cool. So in our section, I'm going to place a pipe cleaner on rails 1 and 2, and I actually put the pipe cleaner and twist those 2 together in between that section. So that's the first pipe cleaner placement. And then I'll come back in and I will add 1 to rails 3 and 4, which is the outermost one, and then the one so right in the middle of that. Should give us that placement. And then the same thing, I'm going to wire in 3 and 4 together between the rail and our middle pipe cleaner. What's that, babe?
Oh, just a lot of people come here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hope all is well with you. And then Christina said, needed this. Thank you, Christina.
Thank you. Involved in a mission, so we've all been praying for him. Because the one thing that I hold true about my business, I believe that number one, I would have a but I was telling Christina, if we can't use our so I've asked her to share not only the program that she's using to help raise funds for whatever so please pray for Nick, and we hope. So we're taking our 21-inch because I have a pretty good countertop, and I usually fold it over because we know.
Yeah, we're skipping in and out right now. I think
Yeah.
it's probably the Wi-Fi, even though there's nobody on it, but we're skipping in and out. So
okay, it'll probably hopefully regain something here soon.
Yep.
I know we password protected, so there's only Steve and I here. So what I'm going to do is, why don't you go around and turn off all of the Amazon echoes and dots? That might help boost the signal. So as you guys know, I always fold this over to about a 5-inch section because our cut edges are where we fray. And then what I do is I just gather this up so that we are confining the ability of this Deco mesh at its cut edge to fray. And for me, it's easier if I take my pipe cleaners and I just lay down the outside ones, because I always start with the inside one first. I'm stalling for time while Steve turns everything off. And then I am just going to start on the inside with this piece. So this is my starter piece. So I'm just going to come in here and lay this in the middle. And I'm going to cinch this in pretty good with a good couple of ties. And then we're doing 10-inch poofs. So you'll see me from time to time readjust the Deco mesh, and that's just to make sure that the edges are back on the outside of either, on the outside of where I'm grabbing it, because I have a tendency of folding on me. So I just sit there and do 10-inch measurement from this point on my cutting mat. So I want to make sure I was doing it right. And then I will put this into the next poof.
Sorry, y'all, we're breaking up. So it looks like things are better.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of people said they were cutting in.
We were cutting in and out. So I'm going to take these and move these to the side, even though I don't want to stay there.
Christina, we were just saying our thoughts and our prayers are with you and your family while Nick's in the hospital. So
yeah,
he was cutting out. She said she couldn't hear most of it, but she could hear some of it.
The good thing is when Mevo goes back and does the replay, the cutout that we're experiencing on the live will not be there. It's kind of cool about that device. So we're not hampered by Wi-Fi, because Mevo keeps its own recording and it's not dependent on the Wi-Fi that we are sharing on a live broadcast. So that's one of the perks we like about it.
Debbie, Christina's cousin I think?
Yeah, I believe it's his cousin Nick.
Cousin Nick was involved in an accident where he was a pedestrian. I think he got hit by a car, and he's in very critical condition. So our thoughts and our prayers are with Christina, who's on here.
Yeah, and hopefully when she has time, she's doing some sort of a fundraiser program, and I asked her to please share that to our page. I said if we don't exist for a reason other than this, then we're in the wrong line of work, because we need to build our community and help each other out.
Audrey, yes, it's a new mat. We think our daughter spilled something and had some water on it. We're not sure, but
you know how it is when you ask your kids, what happened to mom's cutting mat, because it has this warped bubble in it. And
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't me. And I was like, me and Steve were both looking at it going, well, one of us would at least have fessed up to it and said, oh, you know, the coffee maker went overflowed or something spilled here. But she's like, it wasn't me, and it's only me, Kaylee, and Steve that live here. Occasionally Isaiah's here. But she's like, maybe it was Isaiah.
So I got to go back to the beginning of the comments, because I was going around unplugging a lot of stuff to connect to the Wi-Fi. So
that's okay.
Carla is new.
Uh-huh.
And
okay.
she said, "Do you sell kits?" I'm new, so didn't know.
You know, we had talked about that today, because I know that for the long period of time, the summer selections, like all the pastels and the bright colors, were all sold out at pretty much almost every single one of the wreath companies. Like 3 Shop, Craft Outlet, Trendy Tree, everyone just went way crazy during the summertime. So we were toying with the notion of offering, because we're going to start, I think this will be one of our few non-holiday wreaths that we're going to do from here on out, doing a fall, or a Halloween, a fall, and a Christmas kit, and offering some of the stuff that I have in that storage buyout that I have to crafters who want unusual colors that not everyone else can get anymore. So we're thinking about trying to figure out a way to do that if we're going to do the kits again.
But we do have 1 or 2 kits still, right, on your Etsy store?
Yeah, but those are for the red, white, and blue. They're the
memorial.
patriotic.
Yeah.
Yeah, those kits are still available. I think I have 3 left. So, and it's not a major issue, because if they don't sell, the red and white will still be, you know, needed for Christmas. So what I did, once I went back through and I did it all the way around the inner circle, I just took it and I jumped down to the next pipe cleaner on the outside to start my outside loop, and then I'm going to just go all the way around with the outside ones. Same thing, 10-inch poofs.
I'll remove it.
Okay.
And let's see. Everybody's saying it was the cat's fault.
Probably was.
Probably.
You know what? I seriously wouldn't doubt if that little sucker ran behind the thing and tweaked the cable. Because he was just going crazy.
Hi, Brenda. She said, it's been a while, been dealing with the recent death of her dad, so sorry about that.
Aww.
She said she needs some wreath therapy.
Oh, we all need wreath therapy. I need wreath therapy.
This would be a good tribute wreath or memorial wreath. And
It really would. I think it just serves so many useful purposes besides just making it about, you know, red, white, and blue, America stuff. I just think that the colors that Lee picked out for the sign, which is where the sign came from, was personally yours on Etsy. So if you guys want the sign, it is personal, like PERSONAL, and then Lee, and then yours, all together, no spaces. And you can purchase the sign. She has them in a couple different sizes. I think the one that we're doing today, I want to say it's, I'm trying to like gauge the depth. Is it like an 8x12?
I think it's a 6x12.
It's gonna bug me. 6x10.
6x10.
Yeah, this one's a 6x10. And she does have an 8x12, and I think she has one that's a little bit smaller. So it just depends on what your need is and what you want. So we're just gonna go in and we're doing Pouf. And then we're gonna add some ruffles to it. And then we're gonna add some floral and ribbon. And then it depends on if we want to add a bow or not. We might put a bow on it. It's optional, but I left all the ribbon out just in case.
Thank you, gals. All the gals are saying, you know, their prayers and thoughts are going out to Christina and Brenda. It's a really great support group.
Our group really is.
Bobby's just said, I know a really good support group to help with wreath therapy. It's called Cat's Creation.
Well, it is. I just think that our community in general, because it goes beyond just helping each other out with our business or with our wreath making ideas. It's, you know, talking stuff out, real world stuff that we're all going through.
Yep.
You know, kids are moving away, kids are getting married, all kinds of stuff. So I love our group. It's our community.
Dolores, we're making like a tribute memorial wreath.
Yeah.
It's fitting for this weekend.
It definitely is fitting for this weekend. And like I said, there's so many people that I know we have been praying for lately. I have a close friend of ours that lives down the street from us, and I know you guys have seen me post about her because I made her a cancer wreath because she's battling her 4th time against cancer.
Yeah.
So
she's in the hospital now.
Yeah, she's in the hospital now, and you guys have saw I had posted prayer for her, for Nikki. So she survived breast cancer and is now going through ovarian cancer for the 3rd time. So the surgery didn't work out the way she had anticipated it might, but she's still here, which is always our blessing.
Yep.
I mean, you always want the best case scenario, but I was just glad that that was the outcome. So, if you guys can remember her, she's been having a really difficult time. She's not sleeping very well, and she's going to be in the hospital for a little while longer, but she's not sleeping. So, she hasn't asked for any visitors. So, okay. So now, I always say this is like our daisy, like a little kid when you would draw a flower and you would draw your petals. You have to get to that last little jump, and this is where we had come down from our top and we had joined this one to this. You have to complete this poof, otherwise it's unfinished. So this is where I take the last one, measure 10, and then I'll join it to this one so that it'll have a mini poof, but then a bigger poof over the top. So I'm just double checking my numbers, and then I'll come back in and add this one to it. And then what I like to do with the Walmart Deco mesh, because it's a little thinner, is because there's always, I'll show you how much is left just by doing an inner and outer, and then I'll show you what it looks like before I even do that. There's literally this much left on that roll. And I'm trying to see the dimensions. It's a 10 yards, so it's 30 feet, so it's same as all the others. But if you look, it's kind of thin, so it's very transparent. So I usually like to run this all the way out and do what's called, throw it back on the floor. This is where you just take your Deco mesh and you run it out by going in between your inner and outer poofs, and you do what's called a zigzag. So from here, I'll go to here. You're not gonna go every single one, but you go from here to here to here, and then you just kind of follow it along.
Fill in the gap.
And you fill in the gap. And it just gives you that little extra filler so that it looks a lot nicer.
A lot thicker.
A lot thicker. Thicker-er.
Thicker is not a word.
Thicker-er. Anything's a word. God, there's words now that people would have never thought would have ever been words before. So I'm just opening up my twist ties that I already have very carefully. And then I will just lay this on the inside and then just twist it back up. And I'll just run it out until I either get back to where I started.
A lot of people are saying prayers for Nikki. Hi, Kathy.
I think it's been a melancholy weekend is what it's felt like.
Yeah.
I think this has truly felt like a Memorial Day weekend, like that's what it's been. Like we were dealing with Steve's mom. Steve's mom went into nursing care, but just temporary, right? She said she was sprung today.
Hi, Pam.
Hi, Pam.
Hi, Debbie.
Hi, Debbie.
Hi, Joanne.
So yes, we definitely.
Oh, it's Christina from Montreal. Johan LeBlanc.
It's kind
Susan said prayers out for all.
It just feels weird.
Vi's on. Hi, Vi.
Hi, Vi.
Linda said, I want to join your inner group, but I work full time and would most likely not be available for when you have your lives for the private group. Would I be able to view them on replays?
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Yeah. And that brings up a really good point because we are raising our rates in July. But with that, we're also going to double the number of tutorials that we're going to make available for
the private group,
our private group members. So you have one or two options right now to join. You can go on reoccurring payment, which is really super simple. You just would click on, try to find my little catcher. I'm actually going to go into the middle. What is it? You go to the Kats Creations main page, you click on groups. When you open up groups, you'll see Kats Creations private group. You click on the name, not on the, there's like a little space off to the side that says join. Click on the name of the group and then it'll take you to the group page where you can read about everything that you get, which is now going to change in July because you'll get so much more. We're actually going to open it up and do one day, what is that we're doing?
So we're
like 1 week is going to be like if it's Wednesdays, if that's what we all decide that we want to keep Wednesdays. Wednesdays will be like just wreath making. Every single week will be wreath making instead of toggling business with wreath making. We're going to do just wreath making on that day, and then on our second day in the week, it's going to be all business. So like how to do Facebook, how to read the analytics, how to do Instagram, how to do Pinterest.
And maybe do Sundays as your wreath day because maybe more people are home.
So
we're going to do...
I think so.
We're going to keep Fridays as the public, right? Just Kats Creations, Fridays at 5. And then we're going to do Wednesdays and Sundays for the private.
Yeah, I think so. We're still debating that one through. But anyway, so if you join now before July 1st, you get put on what's called the legacy plan. So it's the $10 a month plan for as long as you stay a current member. So from now until who knows how long. Yep. But if you drop at any point and come back, then you're on the normal rate. If that makes sense. I thing. So we're just trying to look at ways of giving you guys a bunch of new stuff because we're going to be rolling into Christmas. We're going to be doing garlands, we're going to be doing swags, we're going to be doing tree toppers, we're going to be doing floral centerpieces, live, or not live, real florals. So there's just so much to do, and we wanted to really take that up another level.
And Linda, you also get on the private group, you also get the replays, but you also get the full material list.
That's all.
And SKU numbers of all the materials she uses for each wreath.
Yeah. So that's all I left. So not worth even keeping. Not worth doing anything with. So the little piece that I did cut off, I'm going to end up taking and I'm going to tuck back inside here. Show you how to do this really quick. My pipe cleaners. I got it. Yeah, right here. So I just put a zip tie on it because everywhere we can contain a cut edge on Deco mesh, then it retains the ability, or it keeps it from being able to fray. So in this case, we're going to take that cut edge, tuck it to the underside, zip tie it to the frame, and then it shouldn't fray. Or if it frays down here, we don't really care because it's under the wreath. But because you don't have an ability to play with it, it shouldn't do anything. So, to go back to the private group thing, once you click on the about and read through, it gives you the links to teach you, I think it's like step 2, walks you through how to sign up for reoccurring. And then you're good. Forever, for as long as you want to stay.
So there's the question.
What?
What is the new rate for people who join after July, right?
Yeah, it's going to be $17 a month. That's the new rate. So like I said, in addition to the business classes, we're doubling the amount of tutorials. And then what I told Steve is every Monday from like 10 to 10:45, we would just do open Q&A for anything you guys want to talk about, anything you guys would like to see. It's basically like our come together community meeting. So a lot of stuff changing, but for the good. Not bad. This is a good change, not a bad change. Most change lately has been challenging.
So for all the gals who've been paying monthly for the $10 a month,
You stay $10
you stay
a month.
$10 a month.
Even if you guys right now are on the 3-month program, when your 3-month is up, I will contact you because my goal is to get everyone on recurring because I hate chasing the money right now to go, hey, it's the end of July or the end of May, we need to get our May payments in. It just takes too much time for me to do that. If I can get everyone migrated over to reoccurring, then we can actually focus on creating, making more stuff, looking for more vendors that we can get discounts for, so I can be out there doing that stuff for the group. So what I'm doing right now is just going through each one of the poofs and pulling them apart. So there's actually 3. There's the inner, the outer, and then the upper, I guess you could call it. Upper, lower, middle. And it's going to make it quite poofy. I think by the time it's done, it's going to be about 22 to 24 inches in diameter. But I love this Deco mesh because it's very soft.
So Kathy, yeah, you paid for 3 months. When you renew, you'll pay for it via the recurring, and Kat will send you the link.
Yeah, there'll be a separate link.
To keep paying for the $10 a month.
Yeah, I'll catch you guys before, like, I think there's some people who are all the way through the end of July. The ones that are up in July, I'll send you the legacy link to get on the same reoccurring that everybody's on, that's joining right now. And then come July 1st, all the new people will just be on the normal $17 rate.
Yep. It takes a lot for her to, especially when the group keeps growing, for her I'm not going to say police, but to monitor all the payments that are coming in, plus everything else. It really takes a lot of her time to do that. So.
Well, and I've been trying to catch things. Like, there's some people who don't realize that their payment was posted twice. So I'm catching those and saying, hey, I just want to let you know You signed up for reoccurring and a 3-month. Which one did you want? Because I want to make sure I'm refunding your money back. So like Steve says, it's just, I'd rather be doing the business side of things and helping you guys get your business growing. And with us going into the busy part of the year, that's the last thing I want to be doing.
Nancy, there's only a few more spots to sign up for the 3-month.
Yeah.
And then once it's gone, and then everybody will just go to reoccurring.
It's only going to be available till the end of May, and then I'm pulling the listing for the 3-month. Because then that prevents people from getting in the June one and signing up in June, and then it goes, what, July, August, September, and then they're rolling into October. Yeah. So then I'm like having to chase the people from July, and then August, and then September people. So that's why I said I'm only going to give it until the end of May, and then I'm going to take away the 3-month. Go to Etsy and just sign up for a 3-month. So my goal,
recurring will be a lot easier for everyone, and the day that you pay, the next month, the same day, it'll just be the recurring.
It's your payment processing date.
Right.
So, like right now, it doesn't matter what day you signed up. It's you got to pay before the end of each new month because you get all the benefits of everything that's been in the group since day one. So a lot of people were confused. They thought if I signed up today, being the 27th, I think, I don't have to pay again until June 27th, and that's not what it was.
Yeah, Gina, so you don't just pull across zigzag metal row, you actually poof. You fill it in. I mean, you can go across the metal row, but you basically just fill in where you think there's some...
I just kind of connected the dots with whatever was left. I mean, you saw how much I had. I think it was only probably like 12 inches left on that Deco mesh roll, and I had hit the end. So my goal is to try to fill with that Deco mesh that I had, and I'm just sitting here pulling it apart. So as you can tell, it looks a lot thicker than when I just ran an inner and outer with this base Deco mesh that came from Walmart. Now, if you had a premium or something with a high foil, you don't have to go back and do an inner, an outer, and a middle unless you want to. But generally, you don't need it. It is so thick and so big, like this is.
Yeah.
I want to say about 5 to 6 inches thick. And the reason, again, for the colored pipe cleaners is it makes it easy for you to know where are all your poofs, where you're going to need to stick your Deco mesh or ribbon in.
And Deborah, you can run the extra around, but you still have to poof it, because if you don't, you're going to see areas where it's really thick in certain areas and areas where it's thin, so you still have to poof it.
Yeah, you still have to sit here and just pull them. Usually what I do is I just sit here and pull them.
Don't ask me
all
how
apart.
I know that.
He knows because he does it, or has done it, let's put it that way. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back in and add some accent colors to our poofs. So these are 10-inch Deco mesh, cut to 10-inch pieces, so they're just perfect squares, 10 by 10. I'm going to ruffle these because I want them to lay more flat than like a curl would. I don't want them elevated because we're going to be adding floral, so I want it to kind of stay flat. So I'm going to be putting 2 together in every single one of the 18 pipe cleaners that I have. So craft outlet, this one has the metallic foil. This is just the regular standard white basic.
Nancy said she's going to sign up for the 3-month, I think, then tonight.
May as well.
And then, let's see, who else said, hold on a second.
So these are what I call...
Oh, Joyce asked, do you have to have PayPal?
No.
No.
It looks deceiving because when you click on the link, it takes you to PayPal, but it says, do you have a PayPal account? And if you do, you click yes, you can pay it through PayPal. That's how I do a lot of my subscriptions to a lot of the groups. Or it says no PayPal, click here. Or it says something like click here to sign up for PayPal. It's not. All it does is it opens up a window and allows you to pay with credit or debit card. So I walked through the whole process just to make sure that the way that I was doing it would allow people to go 3 different ways. So pay by PayPal, pay by credit or debit card. And then keep in mind that we know that life happens. If for some reason something happens with your credit card expires, and now you're like, oh no, what do I do? Because I didn't realize that my credit card expired. We all know it happens. It's not a big deal. I'll keep the legacy rate. If you're a legacy rate person, we'll get you all signed back up with the new credit card. Or if your credit card's compromised due to one of the many data breaches, and we know that your banks have to reissue new cards, I will totally work with you. So again, there's still, like Steve says, it's not so much policing, but I'm still tracking that stuff too. Making sure you guys don't get billed double payments. I'm watching it to make sure that doesn't happen. So what I'm doing is just going around on my insides, and I'm adding just a little bit of accent color. So I'm showing you what my mock-up looks like. And I didn't do Pouf, but I took the same color and I just did a thicker ruffle so that I could look and see what it would look like once I laid it all together. And what this does is it prevents me from cutting into Deco mesh and making a huge mistake going, wow, I really don't like all those colors and I've already cut them all, or I don't really like the ribbon choices or anything. So once you set up what I call a grid, like you complete a section, then that tells you how the rest of your wreath form should go. And when you look at it against the sign, the colors make sense. So I always tell our group, work on the mock-up because it'll save you material. This
and headaches.
Lots of headaches. I've learned from experience, Deco mesh is expensive, and you don't want to be cutting 18 of 12-inch pieces when you really only need 10-inch pieces. And in this case, I really only needed 10-inch pieces because I didn't, when you add them two together, you're doing a 20-inch ruffle.
You want the green to
in
show.
each. Yeah, I still want the green to pop. So I don't want to completely cover it, but I don't want it to just be all green.
Yeah, Sheila said love that color combo.
Isn't this pretty?
And someone else up above, find out who it is, said they love lime green.
Ooh, I know.
They love lime green.
It's funny because it says lime green on one thing. I think it's the ribbon. But then when you look at the Deco mesh is listed as light green. So, I don't know. It looks lime green to me. But I like the two together. And so all of these were cut with the wood burning tool. So what the wood burning tool allows you to do is on the cut edges, it doesn't completely prevent the fraying, but it cauterizes it to a certain degree that helps reduce the amount of fraying that you have.
Dorothy was the one that said she loves lime green.
Oh.
And then Claudia, are these vertically or horizontally?
Okay, so when I'm taking them, I guess I'm doing them to where the finished edges are facing the in and facing the out of my wreath frame.
And the cut edges are
Yeah, the cut edges are going in. So I keep rolling these wrong because I need to get the same pattern like white, blue, and the way I'm rolling them is white's on the wrong side. So I'm having to flip it around. So I need to put the blue under my scissors.
Donna, she's just alternating white, blue, white, blue, white, blue.
All the way around, just like
around.
that. But now I need to make sure that I'm rolling the white first.
In every section.
Yeah, both of them go in every section.
She's kind of skipping around, but she's doing it.
Well, I'm going inner.
Oh, you're doing the inner?
Inner first.
Gotcha.
It was just easier because I saw them there. So it's like, most of the time when I do ruffles, I go in, out, in, out. I just follow them around. And this way I'm just doing them all inner, and then I'll go back in and do all outer. And then we'll figure out where our sign needs to go.
Looks like Dina and Christina are close to each other.
I know, there's so many people.
Maybe about half hour away from each other.
That's what I love about our community is there's people who are like getting together, they're helping each other out, that don't live that far away. Like me and Lindy don't live that far. I'm trying to think of me and Melody. Melody came up and we got to hang out. So it's just nice when you can work together.
Ruth said, love the shade of green you're using. It works really well with their other colors.
It's really
Those are
awesome.
really pretty colors.
And what other questions do
Shorty.
you guys have?
Well, Donna just asked, are you alternating ruffles? And we just answered that.
Yeah. Not really alternating, but they're just the same.
Yeah.
Same blue.
Same
and
blue, white, all the way around.
all the way.
Same
Inner
blue.
and outer. And like I
Hi,
said,
Shorty.
hi, how are
Nancy
you?
said, could you please refresh me on how to sign up for the 3-month? That's just on her Etsy page.
Etsy.com/shop/KatsCreations and look for the 3-month private group. And then you just sign up there.
Yep.
You just click on the listing and birch buy. And then you have to give me a couple hours because normally I have to send you the invite, but I'm live right now. But I will send it out to you.
Yep.
And then the 3-month is good too because it gives you a chance to kind of see, do you really want to commit? But
It's just $10 a month.
that's okay.
It's not even a Netflix account fee.
What is Netflix now? Like $10.99?
Like,
It keeps
it's
going
like
up like every
$12.99.
6 months.
Yeah, I think it's $12.99, something like that, $13 a month.
And I'm not a Netflix person. My family is. If it was up to me, it's like we wouldn't have none of that. But we have to have internet, right? Because you got to go live. But that's just internet. So I have to just keep making sure I'm doing the right colors. Blue.
Diane, the Pouf is obviously the 21-inch Pouf. And then the blue and the white are both 10-inch. Deco mesh cut the 10-inch. And they are both basic from Hobby Lobby or from Craft Outlet.
Yeah, they're not both basic. One, the metallic blue.
The blue is a premium, that's right.
Yeah, and I'm still ruffling these the wrong way. So, doing the outer ones are a little bit more challenging because they're like at the bottom but tucked under. So it's finding the pipe cleaners. Normally what I do is I go and find them first, open them, so that they're easier to lay them in.
Brenda, congratulations. She said I sold 2 wreaths this past week.
That is awesome.
Yay.
That's like our goal, right? I'm hoping it's our goal.
To get everybody to sell them.
Yeah. If that's your goal, though, there's some people who are just making them to make them.
Yep.
Okay. Seeing if I'm going to do this right or if I got it wrong. I think I'm just, I don't know. We'll see. I think I'm doing it wrong.
Nick Wynn. Glad to be watching. Hi, Kat and Steve. Hi.
Hi, how are you? So I think a lot of people either did the barbecues already.
Some people are going to do them tomorrow.
Got to do white first. Except for the people across the street from us that are doing theirs today. They also did it yesterday. And they'll probably do it tomorrow.
Probably.
Probably be a continuation group. So as you guys can see, just by adding the ruffles, it's not taking away from the green, but it's definitely cutting through some of the green that was there. So it's not just lime green everywhere.
It's kind of looking like how the sign is mixed.
Exactly. That was our challenge, man. We went out and we were looking at beiges, we pulled burlap, golds, creams with gold.
Darker blue.
Yup, yup. So, and then also I think what I did in my private group is I posted the schedule for June already. And I can tell you in the private group on next week, Wednesday, because we still have Steve here. Steve's going to do what he promised to do because I think somebody called you on it. And I was like, oh, that's right. You did promise to do that. And he's going to be traveling quite a bit after this. But he's the one that set up my header on my Etsy page and my banner on my Facebook page. So he's going to be teaching the Canva class, which is a free app that allows you to create headers, banners, pictures, what else? Anything, really.
Etsy logos, Facebook logos, YouTube logos, your banner pages.
Yeah.
But it helps if you guys have a laptop, some sort of laptop or a computer that you can be on. You do have the option of having the app on the phone, but
it's not good for creating.
Yeah, right. You need more of a laptop to be able to have your pictures on and work on a laptop.
Okay. So he's going to be doing that this Wednesday at 5. So even in the private group, if you can't make Wednesdays at 5, the video will always be there. If you have any questions, please feel free to post the questions. A lot of people just don't have time for whatever, life happens and you can't get there. But the videos are always there for you. But he's going to teach you guys how to do that because he did it for me. So he's doing the Canva class on Wednesday, and then the following Wednesday, which is June 6th.
Connie said she sold 3 custom wreaths today.
Awesome.
Good job, Connie. That's awesome.
I love that. So June 6th, we're doing the Halloween witch wreath, which I have been told is a huge seller. I didn't do it last year because, like I said, all last year for me was nothing but chasing the competition. So when I was making Halloween wreaths, everybody in the wreathing community was making Thanksgiving, fall, Christmas. And then when I jumped in and went, oh, I'm really far behind. I'm not selling any of my Halloween wreaths. I should make Thanksgiving ones. So then by the time I was making my Thanksgiving ones, they were already on their way to Christmas. So I was chasing them all the way through the year. So now I've gotten smart and figured it out. We have to be like 3 months out. But we follow the retail channel. I know some of us hate to see the retail stuff, you know, have all their, God, the Halloween stuff will be out. Well, we know what, June and July will start having back to school sales at Target. They'll pull out all their school supplies because I used to have my school supplies bought by August. And even then it was slim pickings. And then they start pulling out the Halloween stuff. So we follow retail.
Yep.
And then that will help us stay ahead of the competition. But I think Christmas in July this year will be huge. Because I think that's when a lot of the serious people who pre-shop will be looking to purchase their fall, their Halloween, if they're going to purchase Halloween. Because you're going to have a lot of people who don't. They're just going to go straight for fall. So you want to make sure you have your store stocked. Just about a little bit of everything. Your everyday wreaths. Trying to think of what else. Basically, we're going to be doing fall, Thanksgiving. Gosh.
I think a good tip to be is you need to be kind of stocked up 3 months in advance.
Well, we know, right? What happened with summer when all the wreath companies went out of stock with ribbons. It's going to do the same thing with Halloween and everything else. So that's why I was like, start buying that stuff. Craft Outlet got all their beige burlap in. Go buy it.
Yep.
Because what's going to end up happening is you're going to see this same influx right at the end of August. You're going to have a ton of, the Reshop, Craft Outlet, Trendy Tree. They're all going to be out of all that stuff, and it's going to be out for the season. So if you're, if they're out in September, you're not going to get any Christmas stuff from them.
Yeah.
Unless they're managing to pull it from somewhere. So I just don't want you guys to be stuck with nothing.
Everybody, it's a good day today for wreath therapy, like you were saying, because there are a lot of people, they said they lost family members this last, couple of months this last year.
See, it's...
Sandra said she lost a grandson a year ago, and...
It's been a tough year.
Yeah.
I think that's why I said it's been a melancholy week. Just having so many people that are having surgery, or they're in the hospital, or something happened.
Trisha just lost her son 3 months ago.
Oh, jeez, I'm so sorry.
Sorry to hear that, Trisha.
Not a good way to enter into the year.
It is a good wreath therapy class.
It is. It just takes your mind off of things. Because you have to, focus. You're constantly working. So.
Takes your mind off things, right?
Yeah, it does. You can tell, too, which ones are obviously got close to the end. These are the ones that make the perfect curls. But, as you can see, I'm, trying to lay them as flat as possible. So I can just go from one scrunch and just grab the next one. Right into the next one. Just like so. And I just push my scissors out of the way.
Is that the last one?
I have have one more blue one on the floor, but I don't know. I'll have to look. I could have skipped one. Maybe. It's possible. It happens.
Yeah.
So I will double check. Oh, it seems like there's, yeah, right here. Right there. Skipped him. Because the green pipe cleaner was the same color. I was like, really?
It's hidden.
It was hidden. I was
Hidden
like, I
Mickey.
have one left. One of each. And
I've got it
then
zoomed in just so they can see kind of how you
scrunching.
scrunch.
Yeah. Really?
That's how I turned it off.
You have to push and hold the power button on top till it turns red. And then it won't be listening anymore. There you go. Now that's off.
But it's still doing Wi-Fi.
It's not though. It's on. It's not listening. So if it's not listening, it's not connected. Still probably recording our conversation though.
Conspiracy.
Okay. So as you guys can see, you can still see the green through here. But now what we're going to do, we'll attach our sign to figure out where our sign's going to go.
Want to hold it up really quick?
Yeah. So that's what it looks like.
Nice and thick. It's beautiful.
Very thick. And it just increased the height. So it's probably now about 6.5 inches thick.
At least.
Yeah.
At least 7 or 8.
So we're going to come back in. We're going to add our sign. And then we're going to add these ribbons to bring, again, tying the same color theme back in. And then we'll add our floral. And then maybe adding a bow. I haven't decided. So using our sign from Personally Yours at Etsy. So if you're in our private group, we get discounts from Lee at Personally Yours on our signs, which is a really good discount. So I'm going to take my Beadsmith 1.5 millimeter metal hole punch, and I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to punch a hole in my sign. You can have her add the holes if you want, but I'm always changing it up where I want them. So I usually always ask for no holes. And then we're going to come back in with our pipe cleaner.
Carolyn said one on Craft Outlet last night. They're already out of a lot of fall colors, so.
Really?
You
I was just
need,
on Craft Outlet last night.
that's what I was just about to tell Carolyn. Carolyn, you need to be checking like every couple days if you have the time at night, because they restock their stores a lot. And Cat was on last night. And they did have a lot of fall stuff, I think.
But, yeah, some.
So, yeah.
It just depends on what you're looking for.
Virginia, we're making like a tribute memorial wreath for people who have lost loved ones.
There's more fuzz on that side. I couldn't
Was there?
find it through. Yeah, I was like, it goes through.
Virginia, yes, the Pouf is in a lime green, and we're putting blue and white ruffles on top, and those are 10-inch Deco mesh, cut to 10 inches.
So this is what the sign is. It says, I thought of you, but that is nothing, or it says, I thought of you today, but that is nothing new. I thought about you yesterday and the days before that too. I think of you in silence. I often speak your name. All I have are memories and your picture in a frame. Your memory is a keepsake from which I'll never part. God has you in his arms and I have you in my heart. So this is the sign that we're using. So I pretty much decided based on like, this is where it's nice to have finished wreaths around, is I knew I could put it in the center of our wreath, but I really didn't want to do that because I was telling Steve, if people want to add a bow or a picture frame, you kind of need a space for that. So I'm going to take it and do what I kind of did with my one sunflower one, which is like on this one. I'm going to kind of take it and move it to the side, kind of angle it to the side, and then I'll add our bows and our other stuff. So I'm just going to take this and feed this down through the Deco mesh. This is where it helps to have really good quality chenille stems, because the ones I'm using are just, they're like the wimpiest chenille stems ever.
Shirley said hi from West Virginia. I bet Kat makes wreaths in her sleep. No, but she does dream about them.
Well, except last night, I dreamed that I won the lottery.
Yep.
3.75 million.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I was telling Steve, where'd that number come from?
Libby Moore says, "Hi Kat, I'm new to Deco Mesh wreath making.
Hi, Libby.
And recently came across one of your videos. This is my first live.
Yay.
What dates and times do you do the live videos?"
Well, that's changing. Friday nights will always be for our private group, or not private
public
group. Public group, yeah. Friday nights at 5. We just made it easy because we kind of went off that tagline of Friday Night Live at 5. Because people were doing it for football. So every Friday in the public group at 5, and then in the private group we're changing it now to include in July. It will be Sunday at 5, and then potentially I think Wednesday at 5, but we might change if people think that Wednesday is no longer a good time as we roll into the school year. So I'm
The
just...
sign is from Personally Yours.
And you guys see it's kind of buckling, but that's okay. What I'm going to end up doing is going through and pulling.
The hole punch is a 1.5 millimeter hole punch. Kathy has it on her Cat's Creations page.
It's under helpful links and materials or something. I have a list of, it's on both. It's on the Cat's Creations. At the very top under my most recent video is always the wreath making materials list. So, and all the links are there. So, I just rebend it, kind of push it back in there. Make sure I'm okay.
Trisha said the sign's going to make her cry.
I know, and I try really hard not to read it a lot.
Carla said it's so beautiful. And Carla said, Christina said it's so beautiful. Carla said, love it on the side. And that was your point, is you can put like a bow and you can put a photo.
Yeah, like I was gonna go get
of
a
your
frame.
Loved ones.
Yeah, okay, this was my little daughter's picture, but I was like, okay, because it kind of goes in hand with the whole thing. This is
3x5.
Yeah, 3x5 frame. But if you get one that has, you know, where you can attach your Chanel stem to the back, you can even add a photo in there under the bow. And I'm thinking we're going to be going bow anyway up here. And then you can add your photo down to the bottom and just change it. You know, like maybe change it seasonally, like whatever, depending upon how long, you know, you had your loved one. You might have your favorite Christmas or fall photos. You can change the photos out as the seasons change.
Virginia asked, do you always put your sign on first before you put on the ribbon?
No, most of the time I put it on after.
Yeah.
This is the first time I put it on first, unless I'm doing the grapevine. I was trying to think when we did the grapevine on Friday.
You did everything first and then you put the sign on.
No, on the grapevine?
Yeah, you put all the florals around it, and then you put the sign on last.
Somebody's gonna have to go back and watch this video again because.
Are you talking to sunflower?
No.
Oh, I was thinking about the sunflower.
Sure you are. Okay. Anyway, so I'm using 3 different color 2.5 inch, and they're all burlap. And I'll tell you where I got them all from. So I have these 3. So I'm gonna kind of, I don't know. I might put the blue in, but then it's too blue this way. See what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. Anyway, I think I'm going to put the plaid in the middle. But they're 2.5 inch burlap cut to 10 inches, and then we dovetail the ends. And I'll show you guys how to do a dovetail, because this is really horrible ribbon. Really horrible ribbon. Let me do it on one of these.
Well, it's thick, right?
It's, the inside is all wishy-washy burlap. But the only thing that is giving it any strength at all is the wire on the outside edge. So, and the wire is really, really thick, which is probably a really good time to share that, right? So the big plaid came, or the green and white plaid came from Craft Outlet. The solid green burlap came from Joann's like eons ago, like this was before my days of wreath making. This label isn't even familiar. The blue, I ran it all the way down to the very, very end, but it was Hobby Lobby. And let me show you how to do this. When you have really, again, see it's very soft, like the burlap normally is. And then you have your tinsel, the thick wire on the outside to give it some strength. So in order to dovetail, you take your wired edges and you put them together. And then you're going to cut from your fold to the tip. And I use the Dollar Tree scissors because I'm cutting through such a thick length of wire. I don't want to use my good scissors for that, even though it would probably make cutting through the burlap much easier. But my Betty Crocker Dollar Tree scissors will lay in a perfect dovetail cut. So you'll use this for every single one of your ribbons, regardless of the quality of your ribbon. But these are amazing. Like, I go and I buy like $5 worth of these and just throw them in a bin. And like today, I think I threw my first pair away that I've had since October. They just weren't cutting it anymore.
But they're only $1.
No pun intended. So what I'm going to do with these is I fold them in half to find the middle. And then you scrunch at your middle point.
To make it look like a bow tie.
To make it look like a bow tie, just like so. And then I'm going to come back in and I'm going to alternate. So I'm going to stay around the outside for now until I catch up to my sign. And then I'm going to alternate like the blue, then the green and white, then the green. And then I'm trying to think where I'm going to want my bow. So I don't, this is what I end up doing every single time, is I will take my twist ties.
Kathy Vogel said, I just found your videos. This is my first live.
Thank you, Kathy.
Just signed up for your private group. So excited. Awesome, Kathy.
Yay. I know.
You're going to love everybody.
Fun time. You're going to have fun for like the next couple weeks binge watching everything. If you think binge watching on YouTube is crazy, wait till you're in that group.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I do with my pipe cleaners, because I think I'm going to put my bow right about here. So I've taken my Chanel stems so that it's a memory trigger for me, so I don't just randomly start going as I'm going through the thing and put ribbons in here where I'm going to end up putting a bow on top. So this just tells me, okay, from this point on, let's make this our starting point. I will put in my first one, and I'm not going to reopen my pipe cleaner because there's enough pipe cleaner left. So I'm just going to give it like 1.5 twists. And then I like my ribbon tails to fan to the outside on the outer edge, just to kind of match the way that it ruffles. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with coordinating colors of the 1.5 inch and make our half bows. And I'll show you how we do that. So again, on the outside, I'm going to take the green, fold it in half, so we've got our wishy-washy ribbon. It looks like the magic carpet from Aladdin. It just doesn't want to do anything. And I'm going to come back in, lay this inside on top of my pipe cleaner, and I'm just going to twist 1.5 times, and I'm going to take, so much easier when I'm doing it my way, and pull it.
Because you did it your way?
No, like facing me. So facing me, pull it down. So again, it's all fanning out. So then I go to the next color, which is the solid green, and I just like the color combinations that we had based on the other 1.5, and you can see how wimpy it is. It's very soft.
This is very flexible.
Very flexible.
Carolyn said a close friend of ours just lost his wife. They were only married 2 years. I want to make him this for him with her picture and the sign. That is perfect. That's
see, it makes the
what this is
perfect
for.
gift.
Yep.
And it pulled out in.
Dee was saying she can't. It's hard for her to push the pipe cleaners through the Deco mesh from the sign.
It is.
You just got to really work your fingers in, and then just push your pipe cleaners in where you worked your fingers in. It'll go.
That, or make sure that the pipe cleaners you get are very thick.
Yes.
So
30.
there's 2 different types. Yeah, like Hobby Lobby makes some really nice pipe cleaners. They're very thick, very sturdy. So the wire that they use inside of it is very thick, like, I'm looking at these ones.
Versus the white ones.
No, I was looking for my royal blue ones. See, like this one is really thin. I mean, really thin. So this The tensile strength in the green is really wimpy, whereas this one is way thicker. So when you go to poke this through your Deco mesh, I mean, it goes through wherever it needs to go through. So you kind of just, like Steve says, you put your hand underneath and kind of wiggle your fingers up like our needle through the thread, and we're just pushing that down to meet our hand. So hopefully that'll help.
And I think for the most part, Hobby Lobby has pretty
I like Hobby
thick
Lobby's pipe cleaners.
pipe cleaners, or
They just never go on sale.
yeah.
But they're $4.99 for I think $150 or $180 to a bag.
And you can use your 40% off coupon.
It's not worth it for me. I guess it would be. What is it? $4.99. Takes like maybe $2.40 off.
Yeah, but well,
Something
$2
like that.
off. $2 off.
So we're just toggling them around. And I was thinking, oh, you could do these in any color. No, you can't because of the sign. But I like this because these colors are what I call gender neutral, even though I hate that term. It just means not gender specific. So
You can use it for a man or a woman.
exactly. Even though most people think green
Or
and
child,
blue are
yeah.
more boy, but I just think of it as spring. Spring is a sign of renewal. I know, according to my faith, that even when I lose my family members here, it's just a see you
Temporary.
soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll never have to experience loss. It'll be good.
Trisha, she said this weekend has been very emotional for her because her son also served in the Marines. Trisha, thank you so much. I can't tell you how much we love and support the military.
Absolutely.
They are just the backbone of this country.
They really and truly are. Also need to be paid a lot more.
Yeah.
A lot more.
Police, fire. No.
Yeah. I think we have it upside down. I think our sports figure should be making what the police, the firefighters, and the military do.
Mhm.
And then our police, firefighters, and military should be making multi-million-dollar contracts. Because they're the lifesavers every day.
And teachers.
Yeah, and teachers, definitely that. So I'm just going around. I'm just continuing around the outside, even underneath this sign, because you can still see it from the outside, and it's still going to fan out, which is perfect. And it just will frame that sign really nice.
I'm going to zoom in for a bit.
You just like playing with that, don't you?
I do. I really do.
Do you do the sound effects too? Because the Mevo doesn't have any sound. It doesn't go. He's all. Whoosh.
I don't think you want me to do sound effects.
Don't do the sound effects. Just keep it quiet. So we'll add a couple more of these. Fan it. Fan, fan, fan.
What do you think so far? Give her some likes and loves. You guys love it so far? Beautiful colors.
I know, I like these colors. It's like a different, it's not ocean. So we thought about going to oceany colors, but I was like, no, it's not, I mean, it's summer, but not really. I'm trying to find my pipe cleaner. Just tucked in. So you guys will get to see me do a bow.
A lot of people are saying amen for regarding the military pay. Jean said her son in the Army 16 years. Yes, pay military more money.
Yeah.
Tammy said her grandson just came home from leave to get married. Awesome.
Ooh. That's one heck of a life to be a military spouse.
Trisha said, gotta run. Dinner's ready. Catch the replay. No problem, Trisha.
Absolutely.
Have a good weekend. Have a good night.
That's what replays are for. Life continues on the replay. I just have a few more to do. I think I have one more, and then I've met where my bow connects, which is perfect. Because this is the white, and I just twisted those together so I would remember. Stop here. It's like a highlighter. Kind of knowing what I wanted to do. And then I'll come back in. We'll add the half half bows.
Dina said, Christina, what is your page? I lost it. I think it's called Christina's Craft Crew. All K's.
Wow, you were the bomb. So now I'm gonna add a couple to the inside.
Dora said my son is Navy, 12 years. That's awesome.
A fellow Navy family. Grandfather, dad, and mom were in the Navy. Okay.
No problem, Brenda. She said, gotta run. Hugs, doing mom and dad's laundry. They're both sick. I can relate to that.
I know, right? So I'm just like randomly picking colors to go into the middle because I have a couple that won't be covered, the ones that were in the center. There's some that are under the sign, so I'm not going to worry about those ones because obviously I'm not going to waste ribbon where we have our sign, but I will tackle this one here and add a green. And then we'll go in and add our half bows, then add our florals and do a quick bow. And we should be done. So this will frame our sign. Just like so. Not going to worry about this just yet. I got one up here. We'll just see it's right here.
Baby said she has a surfboard sign that has similar colors, except it has a pink aloha on a flower.
Oh,
She thinks she might try these colors for that.
Very cool.
No problem.
So I'm gonna add a blue.
Carolyn said I was a military wife. It's very rewarding but tough. Yes, I'm sure it is.
I don't see how they do it. I guess it's the same thing on the scale that police and firefighters do, but I mean, military families are separated by months if not years. So again, I'm just framing my sign with that one. And then I have a few of these left. So these are the ones that are under my sign. Not going to worry about those just yet. And then now I'm going to come in with my 1.5 inch and add half bows to the tails that are out. So obviously, look at it, the ones I did. The green and white checkered was from Hobby Lobby. The blue, green, and white was from Hobby Lobby. These are all cut to 12-inch pieces. And then this blue satin, it's like really sheer. This came from Costco at Christmas time. So these are all cut to 12 inches and we're making half bows. So on the navy blue, we're getting the green and white plaid. So you just take them, you fold them in half to where you have like about a 2-inch loop on top. So that's why I call them half bows, because it's just one single loop, and then make like little chevrons. So we're going to take it right where my fingers are pinched. That's where it's going to go into the pipe cleaner. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them and I'm going to twist them and then open them so this actually lays inside each one of the ribbon tails.
I was kind of zoomed in, but I think they could see part of it.
Okay. So I'm just going to come in really quick and add these.
Show them on the next one too.
Yeah. I haven't decided where I'm going to put my florals just yet, so I'm not going to cut my pipe cleaners off just yet. And then the green and white is going to get the solid blue. So this one has very little tensile strength to it. Like, it's really super sheer.
Kathy said her daughter's in the Navy. She's got 2 years left and will retire with 22 years in.
Wow.
That's awesome. She's serving in Guam currently.
That is crazy.
Carla, oh, I can't believe that. She said, my late husband was Navy. Lost him, my dad, and my sister all in 1 year.
That is crazy.
That was 3 years ago. So sorry to hear about that.
What a year. Yeah, definitely. You have our sympathies there. Okay, that was where my bow's going. Going back to my solid blue, which gets my gingham. And then when I have the solid green, it's going to get the other checkered. So blue gets green and white. Green gets blue, white, green. And then green gets, or blue and white, green and white checkered gets blue. That's the way the mock-up came out. So that's what we're going to do. So Yes. I'm like, is that right? Yes.
It's all about colors and patterns, right?
It is. And I was telling Steve, I'm like, I like all the colors, but I'm like, we need some solids in there too. So I had to go find the royal blue that matched the blue.
And if you noticed, Kat is always trying to use 3 colors.
3 or 4.
3 coordinating colors usually that are really good and contrast with each
Try
other.
not to go any more than that.
They complement each other.
Or what I'll do is I pick a neutral base color like beige, white, black, a gray, and then I'll pick complementary colors that go with those. So I don't really count white as a color, but in this case it does because we don't have much to work off of with the sign.
Antoinette said her son is in the Navy for 8 years and now having a difficult time trying to make a living. It is.
See?
I notice a lot of veterans having a hard time.
It should just be an automatic given when veterans come back that they have jobs.
They should be retrained and internships and get hired right out of leaving
But
military.
I wholeheartedly agree. I would definitely hire.
A lot of them do become police officers too.
I know, or security, private bodyguards. So again, as you guys see, I'm just pulling those colors back in and out of the wreath, adding our blues, greens, whites. Not so much white, but just enough white that was in the ribbon. So I didn't want white to be too overwhelming because I really wanted to keep those colors. And pull this blue so it's more underneath.
Christine said there was a rosary set at church for Nick tonight, but no new updates. We'll keep y'all posted when I hear something.
You know what? That's so awesome too, because I appreciate the updates, because I think in our mind we're always wondering, you know, hope he's doing okay. And most times you don't get updates. So you're like, are they okay? How are they doing? Are there specific things we should be praying for? And, you know, we can't forget to praise God in the small moments too.
Yeah.
So it's always good to thank you for little miracles along the way.
Yeah, Audrey, you are so true. In today's life, I think it would be really tough to be a spouse of a police officer or a firefighter or a military.
I just don't know what the world's coming to. I mean, we have so many of our friends that are military, police, fire.
They don't get the respect they deserve, that's for sure.
And I understand that there are the few that do abuse their powers and their privileges, but to just lump them all in that same category and treat them as such, I just think that it's wrong.
Yep.
So
The 0.5% of the 1% just makes all the others.
It does. It's really hard not to lump everybody in that same category and go, they all are. Can't stereotype based on that.
Nope.
So we're just fluffing. I'm just adding my little chevron, half chevron bows. I have to keep just reminding myself what colors go with what. Because it's the green and white one that throws me, and I have to remember it gets the solid. All the solids get all the other colors. They get the plaids. Solids get plaids, plaids get solids. That way it's not so overly crazy.
Libby, when she cuts her 2.5-inch ribbon, she usually always cuts those to 10 inches.
The 2.5 is 10.
And she uses those for the back of the tail. And then when she does her 1.5-inch ribbon, she cuts those to 12, and she does a single loop, like a single loop bow.
It almost looks like an awareness ribbon.
Like an awareness ribbon bow, and puts those inside. So yeah, her 2.5-inch are usually always cut to 10, and her 1.5 are usually always cut to 12, unless she wants a longer tail.
You are so good. Or if your poofs are crazy, like if you went up to a larger wreath frame and you went bigger poofs, and you have that depth that you need to bring your ribbons out, you know, like they're way down in there. You might have to go a little bit, but that's where having the mock-up done helps. So your mock-up generally will tell you, what are your measurements for your ribbons? How long? How wide? Do you like that? Do you like those colors?
Mm-hmm.
Before you cut everything into that. So I'm just going to pull these because I don't want it to cover my sign. I have 2 more to do. So I'm just going around and adding them. And I don't go crazy with my ribbons. I don't cover up my Deco mesh with all the ribbon. Because all I would really have to do if I wanted to do that is just lay down a base and then go crazy with ribbon. But I don't need to. So this is my last one, which is why my materials list is so like critical. If you follow this pattern, the material list that I'll do, you won't have little extra pieces like this because I'm figuring it out while I'm going. But then afterwards, I can tell you, okay, you need to cut this many of this ribbon, this many of that, and then you can go back and watch the video and figure it all out.
And she hasn't cut her twist ties off yet because
Not yet. I got the floral.
She's got florals to do, so.
Yeah. So let me go in and add our bow. So we'll put our bow in, and then I can figure out the dimension the bow is, and then that will tell me how many florals. Because I kind of want the florals to go around the sign, but not cover the sign, but just add to it. So with this bow, I think I'm going to go, I'm looking at the colors.
Tom said, my nephew is a police officer, 4 years now, and is getting married in September. That's awesome.
Thank you.
At least I could say that police officers do get paid pretty decently. Not enough what they should, but if they stay in it for 5 or 10 years, they do get paid pretty decently.
So 20 to 28. So
They
I'm
all
going to
deserve
do,
probably a 25% raise across the board, though.
so I'm going to do about a 7-inch tail. So I'm going to use my Bodabra, and I'm going to lay down my thick pieces first, the 2.5-inch pieces. I think I'm going to go like 2 or 3 colors. So I know I want this color in here, because number 1, the blue is all out.
Well, I feel better, Donna. She said she's going to catch replay. She's getting a migraine.
Hey, fellow migraine, this is going on day 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Been fighting one for a long time.
I just think it's the medication they changed me to. Because I told Steve I'm going to stop taking it and see what happens.
Libby, yes, for the 10-inch Deco mesh, the blue and the white, we did use a wood burning tool. And it works great, keeps it from fraying. So that's what we used. You have to use it on a glass mat or glass cutting board.
Almost 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, I'm going to take this down.
Antoinette, definitely agree. Some really not treated fair at all. A military person should be given the red carpet treatment. Definitely agree.
Yeah. I mean, if you're willing to put your life at risk for your country and for the service, just like police and firefighters, you should go gung-ho. So I'm just taking this and I'm just going back and forth, and with the Bodabra you just kind of twist and flip. So I want to make sure that my loops don't exceed the widths that I have, which they're good. And I'm going to do 2 loops on both sides. This is that funky ribbon again. Go a little bit longer.
Bobby said, I love how you use the ribbons as an accent. So many others allow the ribbon to take over the wreath. Yep.
Well, I don't know. I'm just not a big ribbon person.
Well, I mean, we like ribbon, but it's supposed to be meant as an accent. Otherwise, what's the point of the Deco mesh if you can't see it? Yeah, if you have a ribbon wreath.
Well, like I said, I could understand. I wouldn't use this many colors if I was just going to cover it all with ribbon. I would just lay down a base of whatever and then just pile ribbon on top of it. So I put 2 loops on each side, and then I'm looking at my colors. I think I want to add some blue, but I'm concerned that the blue just does not have the strength to stand up the way that I need it to. If I had the other one, I'll look at this and see. I'm just kind of playing with it and seeing if I pulled it out in big loops, would I have the strength that it needs? I will try.
Should. Looks like it.
Yeah, so I'll do this, and then I think
We just ran out of 2.5 inch
the blue.
blue ribbon.
Yeah, and Hobby Lobby's not open, so we'll dovetail this because we put our loop on this side. We're going to start on this time with our loop on this side, so we always twist and then put it in. So I'm going to go back in, and this one's going to kind of flop back and forth because it is so thin. So you're going to see me bend and twist. Make sure it doesn't go exceed my whisk. It's going to start getting sloppy in here because this just does not have that's okay. Cut. Move this one over here. We will do our dovetail cut and get a stronger ribbon to hold the rest of this down. So then I'll lay really nice, and then these colors will kind of tie it all in. I think we needed the blue.
A lot of people are asking you that they hope your migraine goes away.
I hate migraines.
Wow. Christina said she's trying to get into Botox for her migraines. It's taken her migraines down from 26 days a month to 8.
Oh, wow. I can't even imagine that. I haven't had one in well over a year, and the only thing that I can attribute it to
What's
is...
your last ribbon, baby? It kind of came untwisted.
It's okay.
On the other side.
It's okay.
That one. Okay.
It's okay.
Alright.
I'll fix it. I will fix it. That's why I'm kind of holding it. It's that the satin ribbon just doesn't have anything.
Denise asked, do you like using the Bodabra?
I do. And I think it's because that's where I learned. I didn't have the money last year to do the Pro Bow. Yeah. Because I was just starting out. I didn't know. You know, I didn't want to sit there and invest a whole lot of money and stuff if it really wasn't going to pan out, if I wasn't going to sell anything. So for me, it was just trial and error. And this one has better. And I'm just trying to untwist this. It's kind of weird how it did that. And
The loops are measured, what, 4 inches or?
I'm just going down each size. Like the first one was 4 inches, and then I'm going down probably about 1/2 inch with each ribbon that I add to it. This one's just being really funky.
Yeah, you kind of see it.
Yeah.
It's like folded in the middle.
That would be how they did it. That's how they pulled it off the... Look, it is. It's really folded. But I'll fix it.
Janine, the more you use the Bodabra, the better you'll love it.
Yeah, the better your quality ribbon. Like trying to use this ultra thin satiny stuff, and then when you have this just adds your extra.
Denise said that's what I use is the Bodabra. That's awesome.
I like the Bodabra.
Donna, she said, my first time catching you live. You're an inspiration. Thank you, Donna.
Thanks, Donna. Make sure you like and follow the page, and then you'll be notified when we go live. Because I know a lot of people, I've been trying to go over to my YouTube channel and talk to the YouTube subscribers and let them know, because they're just seeing us on YouTube, that we exist on Facebook and other places in the internet. So I'm just going to take this and twist. So I'm using my blue because it has a greater strength to penetrate my Deco mesh world.
Yep. So Jean, she started at 5 on the loops and then went down about 1/2 inch for each
Yeah,
one.
so like 4.5 with the blue, and then 4 with the plaid.
Denise, she's asking where you got the ribbon again. The green and blue
Hobby
plaid
Lobby?
is from Hobby Lobby.
Costco,
The
Craft
blue,
Outlet.
the blue satin is from Costco, and then the green plaid is from Craft Outlet.
Yep.
Yep.
So I am just going to go back in.
Sandra said, I hate satin ribbon.
Don't you? Unless it's really good. Like, trying to think who has really good satin ribbon. I want to say Joann's, it depends. Joann's and Michael's have some really awesome thick satin ribbon, and that's really easy to work with because it's thick. It's not wimpy and like doesn't want to do anything.
And Kat's motto is practice makes.
See if people are going to figure that one out.
See if everybody remembers.
Yeah.
It doesn't make perfect. What does it make?
My group should know because it's never perfect.
Yep, Vi said it's so true. Practice, practice. My bows were not the best when I started with the bow Deborah. Now I'm complimented on them all the time.
Mm-hmm. You just got has anyone come up with it?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Practice
Steve knows.
makes.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if my group knows what I told them.
Bobby got it. Carolyn got it.
What is it?
Practice makes permanent.
Practice makes permanent. Because there is no such thing as perfection. And trying to obtain that is just going to drive you crazy. So as you guys see, I'm working from the bottom up and just pulling my ribbon around where I want it to go. And the nice thing too, here's the good thing about satin is the more you play with it, then you can get it to curl.
Yep. Audrey said, isn't trial and error for all of us. That's how we learn to cope with everyday life.
I know, right?
That's exactly
Imagine if
right.
babies just gave up when they fall down. Oh well, that's it. This is where I'm just going to sit for the rest of my life.
Libby said, your live video is amazing. You are a great teacher. Thank you for doing this.
You're welcome. So I'm just sitting here pulling.
That's right. A lot more people got permanent. Lou, Marie, and Monica.
Yeah, permanent.
Permanent. That's right.
Permanent. So I saw that one loop was like super giant.
Oh, you just pull it down.
Yeah, you can go through and readjust your ribbons, and this is where you can't do that. I think with the Pro Bow, you can't go back in and make some slight minor adjustments, but it does give you the perfect ribbon, or the perfect bow.
Yeah.
And I'm not about perfect. I want them to be slightly imperfect.
You want them to be personal.
Kind of. So now, with those done, there's our bow, and we'll always be fussing and fixing that. Now I want to come back in really quick and add some florals. Now the florals I picked out today also have some significance. I like Queen Anne's lace just because it's a really elegant little flower. It makes great filler flowers in lieu of like baby's breath. And then these two different colors. Does anyone know what these are? And I'll show you, see if you guys can guess what these are called. I purposely actually went and looked them up. Because I read this book a long time ago. I can't remember what it is. I gotta think of what it is. It's one of my Christian books. It was about the language of flowers, and it was a romance novel about a man who would speak his feelings to his true love based on the language of his flowers. So she had to understand what the flowers symbolized into knowing what it was that he was trying to say to her. So do you guys have any idea what these are called? The little blue ones and the little...
White with blue?
Yeah. They have 5 petals, and then they kind of have like a little star center.
Anybody take a guess what they are?
Anyone want to take a guess? Kind of goes with the theme of our wreath. I'm just going to cut these down.
Susan got it.
Did she figure it out?
Forget-me-nots.
They're forget-me-nots.
Yeah.
Because
Perfect tribute for the wreath.
it goes in with our wreath. And it was weird because I was looking it up just to see. They are a remembrance flower, but it's funny. I'm not into legends and all this stuff, but it was funny. They had like a Christian reference to it that when God was walking in the Garden of Eden one day, he came upon these flowers and he asked the flower what its name was, and the flower didn't remember what its name was, and God said, I'm going to name you Forget-Me-Not, so you will never forget what your name is. And I thought, oh, how cool. I'm a sap. So I'm going to take these and I'm going to actually add these alongside our sign. And I just want to kind of make like little mini bouquets. So I want to add some blue and some of the white.
Don't get the one with the sticker.
Well, I'm snipping it, Philip. I know, I always grab the ones with the price tag. So I just kind of want to make little bouquets and add them alongside our sign. So that we are never forgetting. So I'm going to take these and twist these together so that the colors...
Yep. Libby said love the symbolism.
I think too, even in the royal wedding, I want to say that the one that they just did, Harry and Meghan, it was one of Prince Diana's flowers. They incorporated it into her bridal bouquet so that they would take a piece of their mom with them and she would be part of the wedding. I don't know if I like how thick it is. I might cut some of these down because I want them a little thinner. They're kind of going a little too thick. So I'm going to cut these down into little bite-sized pieces.
Give her some more likes and loves. Wreath's looking beautiful so far.
So, and I'll snip this guy down. I want them smaller, like I like this one, but when I added it to the middle, it just was like crazy big. So I'm going to add just this piece here, making smaller ones because I don't want it to be too big.
Kim said yes, they got the flowers from her favorite flower garden.
Yeah, white roses and forget-me-nots is what I was told, or what I read. Told. Yes, I know them quite well. They told me exactly what they did. So what I'm going to do, have this little mini bouquet gun already on and ready, and all I'm going to do is add these around the sign.
Yeah. Patricia will read what the sign says here in a little bit. Let her get a chance to finish it.
Yeah, I'm almost done.
And then Antoinette, at Hobby Lobby, the name of the flowers actually aren't on the tags. They're on the green buckets that the florals are in. So if you look, there's a little white sticker on the little buckets.
If
That's
the
where,
stickers are there.
if the stickers are there, that's where the name of the flowers are.
Yeah. But I looked them up to kind of get an idea of what I was looking for when I went there, just in case they weren't done.
Denise said, yes, you're right, and Prince Harry gave Meghan Diana's ring.
Yeah, I
That's
saw
awesome.
that. And that they kept a seat saved for her at the service.
Oh.
So, yeah. I thought that was really nice. And then they invited her, Diana's family, to the wedding.
Audrey said, so gorgeous, it's a great tribute to all of us who have lost loved ones.
That was the whole point.
That's the whole point.
And I think, like I said, this sign just came out from Lee, and I remember I think we were working on something, and she was on when we were working on another wreath, and so it was a Mother's Day wreath, I think, and we had asked, people were asking, you know, how come they don't make a sign for moms, or moms that we don't have anymore? And I said, you know what? Lee's on here from Personally Yours. Maybe she'll take that into consideration and add something. Oh, we were doing the dragonfly wreath. And,
same colors too.
Yeah.
The green and the blue.
So I'm just going to go in really quick, cut my pipe cleaners off so I can add and glue my florals. And I do have a butterfly because I know some people see butterflies as being symbolic as well. So I do have one that's green and blue. So I thought we could add him. Take them and I twist the backs right behind the ribbons, kind of like looking. Just have a few left. Wasn't quite sure I wanted to, like if I wanted to stick them around the wreath. That is certainly within your right to do so if you want to add those. And I do have one. The one that I added, that I twisted. My bow is more to the top, so I'm going to untwist this one and add in our green and finish this piece. It just looked unfinished and I didn't want to snip it. So this. This plus this. Finish that. And that's funny how that worked out too, because it's the exact same pattern, even though I skipped it. Skipped it around the sign. Skipped it around the wreath.
Clyde says she thinks the open seat always left in front of the queen so as to not block her view, but she likes the thought that it would be for Diana better.
Yeah. That would be weird. Isn't she like part of the family? Wouldn't they just move her to the front?
For the queen, you think? Yeah.
Yeah. Thought she would have been sitting in the front.
Denise said, they say if you see a butterfly, whisper to it, and it will carry your love and kisses to someone you lost.
That is sweet. See? I like butterflies because, number one, I like them in my garden. And I always think that they dance because they're always like in pairs and they do that whole like little thing. I'm like, oh, how cool. They're like dancing. That's what I think when they're in our garden. Because they always come in pairs. The little white ones. Okay, I have the last one. Yep. Last one, last one. Okay, twist, twist, twist. This is why I always say cutting your pipe cleaners at the very end, because if you have to make any last minute changes, if you don't like the way your bows or ribbons look, you can make those changes before you remove them. And then now I'm going to come back in and I'm going to add some of my florals. And the nice thing about Deco Mesh is Deco Mesh makes for the perfect like an adhesive net for your glue to stick to. And you guys know me, normally I do my glue skillet. There we go. So without glue skillet today, because we just had the glue gun plugged in, I'm going to take these, hold them together, and just really, I have it on a silicone mat, like a silicone rubber mat. I'm going to come back in, take them, and tuck them at the bottom corner of my sign.
Sue says she actually has that sign. That's awesome.
Aw, very cool. Well, hopefully we inspired you to create something with the sign. I know you guys can't really see it, or can you see it? So I'm just cutting these down.
Not yet. You can show them when you're done.
Because I want them in more manageable chunks. They're just way too big. The way that they have them trimmed. And I like the blue a tad bit more than the white, but I don't want to.
I like the mix.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm just like sitting here intermixing them together and then looking at where do I want to add them. This is almost too big of a bundle. It just goes too high. Here's your Dollar Tree scissors.
Hi Deb. She said, hey Kim, Steve, better late than never. Have to catch the replay, loving the wreath.
Thank you. Almost finished. I know I keep saying that. You keep saying that. I said that a little while ago. I'm just adding these to the bottom of my sign. Squirting my glue onto my silicone mat. And then really...
Denise, no, there's a 2.5 inch green and white plaid ribbon that's cut to 10 inches. And then there's also a 2.5 inch blue, like a faux burlap, that's cut to 10 inches. And there is a 2.5 inch lime green solid that's cut to 10 inches. So there's 3 2.5 inch ribbons cut to 10 inches. And then there's 3 or just 2? Yeah, there's 3.
3 1.5.
3 1.5 inch cut to 12 inches. The plaid blue and green, the green gingham, and then the blue satin.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm thinking I'm gonna add 1 or 2 more pieces to the top, but I'm gonna look before I do that.
I said, love the colors. The wreath's looking so beautiful.
Thank you.
Helen said, just came on. Your wreath is beautiful and very meaningful.
Thank you.
Yep.
That was the goal.
That was the goal.
Right?
She had a vision.
I had a vision. I did. Because like I said, it started off with the sign. And then it was, I think I want to add that. I think I'm done, believe it or not. I just want to add a couple little pieces. I might add a couple more over here. And just go smaller pieces. We went with the sign, then I wanted the colors, or the floral. I knew what kind of florals I wanted. I just had to figure them out. I knew I didn't want poppies. I wanted more, I'm just looking to see, do I want them there? Yeah, I don't really like them. Nope, I think I'm gonna leave it like that. I was gonna add a few more.
Did you do any of the Queen Anne's lace?
No, but I will. I'm gonna pull these guys out so I can see how big he is. I don't want the orange one, obviously. I just want the look, this one. So we're gonna add him to the floral. Let me snip some of this off. Just right here. This is like the perfect, I don't know, babe. I am looking. Maybe cut a couple pieces off. I mean,
We're gonna just cut the stem shorter.
no, not the stem. Just some of the little picks. I'm just seeing that it takes away from those. Like I'm kind of adding, and it's different from doing it like in a grapevine. I just don't like them.
Okay.
I'll leave them out. I don't like them in there.
That's your option. You're the wreather. The
Right?
crafter.
A crafter. I can make mine crafty. So I want to make sure that I keep this. I'm just looking at where I want to add the butterfly to it.
Maybe the public videos are always available on her public side, on the Kats Creations. And they're also on YouTube. And then her private ones are only available for the private group.
Okay.
Denise said she'll have to watch us from the beginning. Did you do poofs and curls? No, she did poofs and scrunches.
Okay, this is where I'm going to add him. So I know where he's going. Obviously, butterflies would be attracted to the flowers, but I don't want him to cover my sign. So it's just a matter of getting him to adhere where I want him to
Maybe
go.
if you click like and follow, then it'll show up on your
There we go.
Facebook as well.
Okay, glue. I just don't want it to hide the sign. Pull my glue off. Okay, so let me take this one down so I can show what it looks like up on the wreath, and then I'll hold it up so you can see it. As soon as I push all of this away, move this to the other side. So this is why I like working with the silicone glue mat, is because you just take your glue and you just pull it off, and then you throw that back in your glue skillet.
Yep.
So it's all done deal. So this is what it looks like. All done.
And the sign reads, I thought of you today, but that's nothing new. I thought about you yesterday, and days before that too. I think of you in silence, I often speak your name. All I have are memories, and your picture in a frame. Your memory is a keepsake from which I'll never part. God has you in his arms, and I have you in my heart.
So, like I said, we added the forget-me-nots, we added the butterflies, the sign, obviously, like I said, if you want, you could, if you wanted to totally make this more personal, like maybe take out this particular bow, and then if you wanted to, like find a 3x5 frame and add a frame to it that you can add into your wreath and kind of keep the photo along with your wreath. But I let that be something more personal that somebody else can add to it. But that's all you'd have to do is you can definitely add a frame to keep it personal, maybe change it out if it's seasonal and you have that many photos of them. So let me show you what it looks like on the wall, or on the wall.
Pam said, your videos are my new favorite hobby.
Aww.
Linda said, first time here, late, but I won't be my last. That's awesome, Linda. Thank you. Don't forget to like and share, or like and follow, then it adds it to your Facebook page, the video.
Definitely. So, you will come back in, you will fluff everything again. Fluff, fluff, and refluff. But you basically get the gist of what it is and what we've done.
The sign is from Personally Yours on Etsy.
Yep. Hey guys.
And Carolyn said, okay, you got me that time. I really miss my parents.
Aww. That wasn't the goal.
That's not the goal.
Let me, hold on a second. It's not on there. There it goes. I wanted it. Ooh. Okay. Actually helps if I get it on the hook. Because I wanted it tilted. Yeah, because remember we did the sign off to the ankle, and I was like, that's what it's supposed to be. But if you want to hang it more straight up and down, then it's definitely something you can do.
Yeah, stand right there, and then you can.
Okay, so what do you guys think?
I'm zoomed in. It gets a little blurry, just a little bit, but it still looks awesome.
Okay. Can I go back?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why you have me like propped next to the door like that. But what questions do you guys have that I can answer? Any last minute questions you have?
Everybody's saying gorgeous. Where did you get the sign? A lot of people already said Personally Yours.
On Etsy.
On Etsy.
It's all like one word. When you're searching for anything in Etsy, there's no spaces. So, and don't do, you see them as like separate words. So personal with a capital P, and then an L with a capital like
L, and then E-E-E.
L-E-E. So let personal have its own L, and then add the L for Lee, and then capital Y-O-U-R-S for yours.
Yep. That's
how you find her. Most people forget, and they just think that they use the L in personal to add the E-E to the end, and they won't find her. So
it's on a 14-inch wire frame from Hobby Lobby.
Yep.
And then the silicone mat is from Silicone Alley.
Yeah.
I think it's
so you just throw them in your kit. I have a bigger one that I think we did on Friday that you guys saw when I do the florals, because you have so much, you know, if you're doing a glue skillet and you're dipping and sticking, you have a tendency to get glue threads everywhere. So I use a bigger baking mat silicone one that you got from Bed Bath & Beyond.
That's a great tip too, how you did you just pushed the glue right onto the silicone mat, and then you took your florals and you put it in that way.
Well, because I burn myself more with a glue gun trying to hold my florals and do this, and then while I'm trying to figure out, the glue's running down all over your hands, and then your nerve endings kick in and you go, it's burning, but you can't do like on live. You have to fake it, stick it in there, and then just like deal with it afterwards.
Yep. Okay.
All right, guys. Well,
good night all.
I will see my private group on Wednesday. Don't forget that things are changing up in July, so if you want to join my private group at $10 a month, you only have until the end of June. And then the prices are going up to $17. And then in July, we're also cutting the Sunday night for the public group, and we're giving it back into the private group.
The small silicone mats were on Amazon. They're on her. The cats.
They're on the wreath making supplies on the Cats Creations page.
Yep.
So it's just under the videos.
They said it kind of skipped out a little bit while you were talking about it. So.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll see my group on Wednesday. Steve's going to teach you how to do your Facebook banners and headers. And private group, look for the, what is it? The vote, the poll for what you guys want to see us make on Friday. So I will see the private group Wednesday and the public group on Friday. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.